Okay, in this video, I'm gonna talk about how to close more real estate investing deals by actually doing it in reverse. We're gonna talk about the reverse wholesaling method, what it actually means today in 2025, how it actually functions, and how to execute on it. Because if you do this right, you will be able to close more deals than the rest of your competition. A lot of people in real estate wholesaling make a big deal out of getting contracts. Getting contract is really important, but if you can't sell those and you don't have end buyers, then we don't make any money. I mean, there was a point in time in my business where we were contracting 10, 15, 20 properties and we were closing on like 4 or 5 of them like 3-4 years ago. It's like, this is pointless. Why get so many contracts if we can't close? At that time, I felt like I couldn't grow my real estate investing business because I had a disposition problem, which is selling the deal, when in fact, I actually had an acquisition problem, not a disposition problem. So let's hop into reverse wholesaling and how you can execute on it to close more deals. So first things first, let's break down what reverse wholesaling actually is. So to put it in layman terms, all you're doing is putting your buyers first. What are they looking for? Your wholesaling business is basically a deal finding business. You are a deal sourcing business. All you're doing is filling orders for what your end buyers are looking for, and you make a middleman fee. So if you're reverse wholesaling, instead of finding the deals and then finding a buyer, you are finding the buyers, then finding the deals for them. So now when I say this, a lot of people get it mixed up. They're like, oh, I am gonna go spend hours and hours and hours building out a buyer's list, and then I'm gonna go try to find deals. Well, the challenge is if you're not already kind of doing both, you're gonna go find deals, and then by the time you actually find a decent opportunity, you reach out to your buyer's list and they're gonna forget who the heck you were. So ideally, you do this in a way that's just a little bit more fast track. So this is how you do it. So first, as you break into any sort of market, you wanna find yourself a JV partner. So a JV partner in that area has already done the work for you. They already have the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that are real end buyers. This is the fastest way to go start doing deals, especially breaking into virtual wholesaling, which is like the way that I do my business. I'm here in Phoenix, but I primarily do my deals in Dallas and in Atlanta and in Orlando. So when I go try to break into a new market, I know I got to put the buyers first, but I don't have those buyers yet. I go find a JV partner that already has those buyers, and I simply ask them, what are your buyers looking for? What deals are selling? What are the parameters behind those deals? What's the age of the house? What's the square footage of selling? What's the neighborhoods or zip codes I should stay out of? I'm going to ask someone local that's already selling deals there what's actually moving, and then I am just going to go start finding those deals. Now, step 2 of this process, as you have started to put your focus back on the deal acquisition side and you're pairing up your business with a strategic partner that is helping you sell your deals, you will 100% be able to close more deals when you've done it this way. But this should not be the long-term solution. Long-term, you should be building out this buyer's list while you're doing deals and sourcing them with your JV partner. Here's my favorite tool to find end buyers. This tool is actually called Investor Base. So Investor Base, I believe it's like $250 a month, but it's hands down been one of the best softwares that I've used. And guys, this is not an affiliate plug or anything. It's just what I use to find like real end buyers. One of my biggest buyers in Atlanta came from using Investor Base. They gave me his cell phone. I reached out and he was actually really cool. It's a real tool that I use. Use it as you will. If you can't afford $250, it's okay. Find a JV partner until you can actually afford to spend the $250. But once you can, check this out. So this is the deal that I recently did in Mesa. What I do in Investor Base, I can type this in and say, you know what, give me a 10-mile radius, anything over the last year, and just give me fix and flippers, not landlords, not people who are doing buy and holds. Okay. So I can hit search. And what this is going to do, it's going to pull out 10 miles around my property, and all these people are just fix and flippers. The cool thing is, if I go to search, I can say, give me the skip trace data too. So when I do that, check this out. It actually gives me addresses for properties that have sold, but more importantly, it gives me the name of the person on the LLC and their best contact phone number, which is awesome because most of your buyers are going to be LLCs. So giving you the phone number is a major hack, but it also tells you how many flips they've done in this zip code. Check this out. Main Street Mobiles have done 5 flips in this area over the last 12 months. I know Main Street Mobile. Shout out to Kurt and Dan. They're Main Street Mobile Homes, so I know who these people are. And I know they do a lot of mobile homes. This is an easy way to start building out your buyers list. Now, what I said again, when we're reverse wholesaling, we're finding our buyers first and we're sourcing deals for them. My JV partners probably already know most of these people, but long term, I'm going to want to be able to sell my own deals so I can retain more of my own profit. If I'm reaching out to real end buyers, buyers and I'm giving them phone calls and I'm asking them what they're purchasing, which by the way, guys, the script that I use to call buyers to add them to my buyers list, you can actually find inside of the Skool community. There's a script there. It works like freaking clockwork. You use that, you start calling these people on this list, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna categorize your end buyers into buckets. What I like to do, these two buckets for me are number one, your primary buyers. So my primary buyers, when I start reaching out to these people, I'm going to focus on the ones that have done the most flips. So Travis Larson and Brian and Main Street Mobiles and Craig Group, like some people have done more than maybe one flip in the last 12 months. I'm going to call them first and see if they're still actively buying. If they are, I'm going to get their buying criteria, and then I'm going to put them into my primary buyers bucket. Now, after I have my primary buyers bucket, which is comprised of probably the biggest buyers in that area, I'm also going to create a secondary buyer bucket, which are all the people that I reach out to that haven't done as many flips, but I'll get their buying criteria, and typically they're a little bit more loose with their criteria. They're willing to expand it out a little bit, pay a little bit more, say ARV is a little bit higher, maybe they're willing to take on older houses or other stuff, right? Just so they can pick up more projects. As flippers get more and more refined, so does their buy box. So I want to have a secondary buyers group that may just be willing to expand out a little bit to sell the deals that typically don't work for my best buyers, right? So in this real estate investing business, if you want to sell more deals, guys, there's so many ways to make money in this. And the problem is when we're sourcing leads is a massive gray area. We can't control the type of lead sometimes that comes in. Maybe it doesn't fit the criteria of my primary or my secondary buyers. Guys, I'm willing to say no to a deal. Sometimes the best deal is a no deal. If it doesn't fit my primary business, we only have limited focus. I can look at wholesalers and real estate investors have been doing this and been trying to break free, and they basically are on this roller coaster ride of revenue. They do a deal in a month and then they don't do another one, and maybe they do two in a month and they go multiple months without a deal. It's because they're not focused. I know exactly what my end buyers want and what they're looking for. So I simply just go find that. So yes, it's harder to find those deals. I can't just go contract any property if it's in the middle of nowhere, it doesn't fit the criteria. Well, guess what? No one's going to want it. You're going to be just like me. You're going to get 20 contracts and close on 5. I want to get 10 contracts and close on 10 in a perfect world, right? And the only way to do that is know exactly what your end buyers are looking for and you source deals for them. So get started quick. You get a JV partner that has all the end buyers. The next step is while you are in that process of finding deals for your JV partner that specifically fits their criteria of the deals that they know they can move. One of the coolest benefits on the back end of doing that is it'll also give you the buy prices saying, hey, you need to be at this number if we're going to be able to sell this deal. Well, while you're doing that, using a tool like an investor base that will give you real end buyer information. So then that way you can start prospecting. I put a virtual assistant on this. I pay them $4 an hour. They call and categorize my buyers in my primary bucket and my secondary bucket. That is it. And we will only source deals specifically for them. And if those people don't want the deal, guys, it probably isn't a deal. I was talking to an investor earlier this morning, actually. It was like, wait, so you only have a 5-day inspection period? You only have a 7-day inspection period? Because in wholesaling, you typically have a long inspection, so it gives you enough time to try to sell the deal. I have learned if the deal doesn't sell in 5 days, it's probably not a deal. We probably got it too high. I may have to go renegotiate. Understanding that part of the process, guys, you want to close more deals, use this as a way of reverse wholesaling to find the best properties that will actually move and get you paid. So then you can optimize it and you can scale it. So if you want to see the buyer script, it's in the Skool community. You can find that link somewhere in the description. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.